I don't know. I honestly don't know what to say to you.
We know where they go from here.
I don't know what to say to you. You want me to turn around and say sack Ange? He'll probably get the sack anyway at some point because
what do you?
I don't know.
Think?
I don't know.
Something.
I don't. Do I want to start again? Do I want to start again? These are conversations I have in my own house. Okay. We were having them last night.
Right.
Well. In my own head, my house, everything.
Okay. So what do you feel about Ange Postecoglou? Just stay on, and only, you say about deflecting, Robbie.
I'm not deflecting.
I know.
I'm
just saying. Can you just stay on Ange and Ange only about, not he'll probably this or this, the club.
It's not good enough.
Abbi Summers, what do you think?
Good enough. It is not good enough.
Can't winner.
You cannot be this inconsistent. Do I think that, the squad are necessarily buying into what he wants them to do? They clearly can't do it. They clearly can't implement what he wants.
Has he been found out, Robbie?
You want the full... He was found out after the first 10 games of last season. And let's be honest, that's probably the only reason why he's in a job, because at the start of last season.
When I said that, people said,
The problem is that I don't know where we go from here. So it's like, do we sack another manager? Who are you bringing in? We've had the pragmatic managers, the managers that have won trophies, and they can't do it with us. We don't like the pragmatic football. So the whole thing with Ange was, we were so done after the turgid football with Conte and Jose that a lot of us were very much like, okay, it's going to be a ride. We might win games 5-4, we might lose games 5-4, but at least we'll play good football. And for the most part, we are exciting to watch. The problem is,
in the league.
You're very entertaining.
We are very entertaining if you're a neutral, and when we're on our day, we're entertaining. But the problem is we are so inconsistent, and this is not his first season. This is his second season. We should be building on what was last season. And I don't see the progress. Like, I'm not seeing any progress, because to have progress, you've got to have consistency. And I don't see that. This is also on the players too. I think that lots of questions need to be asked of the defending. I've said about the system. I don't think the system particularly helps at times. But I think that Romero, I've called him out for weeks. I think this season he's been absolutely terrible. Dragusin, his agent, talking up about a move to Real Madrid. Be lucky, mate. Be lucky if you can get moved to a conference team from what I've seen.
What?
And
also,
I honestly...
bring the doctor back in, man.
Real Oviedo.
Rio Vallecano.
You're right, though, isn't it? Get away from Spurs.
Maybe it means dirt. But again, I don't know if it's to do with the system. I don't know. Because as individuals, they're not bad players. But when you put them all together and you watch them in this system, they are absolutely dreadful. I think also the problem is with the chopping and changing in midfield. So you take Basuma out, you take Maddison out. Sometimes he likes to have Kulusevski, Maddison, Basuma. Then he'll have Bentancur, Kulusevski. Then he'll have Sarr. Like, I don't think he knows what the midfield should be like, which they should be protecting that back line. They don't. And that's probably, again, because I don't think we've got good enough six. I said that about the summer. That should have been the first thing we go and get. So I think chopping and changing in the midfield doesn't help. I think in terms of the quality up front, this is not about Solanke. I think that's fine. The money is the money, and I'm over the money. I think in terms of what he brings to the team, I'm fine with. But I just think I look around, the summer when we're linked to players like Eze, who came and was watching games at the back end of last season. How's that not materialised? How is that not an upgrade? Someone that will come in and go straight into the team. If you're talking about wages, and whatever he's on at Crystal Palace, you're telling me Spurs can't top that, can't match that. Someone like Pedro Neto, who Spurs were linked to massively in talks again, comes down to wages. How on earth are you letting a player like Pedro Neto, who Spurs need, end up at Chelsea when it comes down to wages? And you've got Timo Werner on £175,000 a week.
Is that what he's on?
Yes, we should be looking.
Trash.
People can say what they want about Son. People can say what they want about Son, right? People still want to live in the past of Son 2 years ago. Son is done. You need to move on from Son. And this should have been the season. He's out of contract at the end of the season. This should have been the one.
Son?
Yeah, this should have been the one where you're moving. No, wait a minute. This is the one where you should have signed someone in the summer to progress forward and move on from Son, right?
Him and Messi,
Him,
Son Perignon.
and you've also got someone like Timo Werner. They're not good enough. You sign a Wilson Odobert, who might be fine. He's been injured, whatever. But in terms of, I look at the quality, we look at the money we spent on Brennan Johnson. I actually like Archie Gray. Yeah. I really like Archie Gray. I'd actually like to see Archie Gray play in his proper position, which is in midfield.
Mikey Moore coming
I'd
through.
really like to see that. Yeah, but it's The Mikey Moore thing, don't try and dig out Mikey Moore, who's literally
No,
played
I'm
like
saying
2
he's
games.
coming through. I'm talking about the positives.
Yeah, there are positives.
Because you're
But
saying
at
about
the
the
same
dead
time,
players. I'm saying these are some of the good ones.
At the same time,
Mikey Moore.
at the same
Neymar.
time, there's not enough. There's not enough that's done in terms. It always comes back to the same conversation. You're going to say, "Oh, I'm talking about Enoch again." Well, the bottom line is always Enoch, because when you always cut corners, we spent money, but on what? What players can come in and make the change and elevate the squad? If you would have signed someone, even if it would have been a Conor Gallagher walks into that side and is and is the 6. Eze comes into that side and elevates your side. I look at Tottenham and I say it on every single show I ever do. In terms of the squad, it's not good enough to be competing with the top 4. It's barely good enough at this point to be competing in the top 6.
Ipswich.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Tottenham as a whole,
No,
not
but I'm
about
saying
Ipswich.
you
Yesterday's
compete with
performance was
Ipswich.
unacceptable, but this happens all the time. We go 1-0 down every single week, whether it's home, away. It's unacceptable, and that does come back, and the buck will stop with the manager. 100% it will, and he will probably get sacked. And I said that at the back end of last season, that if the results do continue as they were towards the end of last season, he will get sacked. But
Would you sack him? Do you think he should?
I think she's just sick of
no,
it.
no, I wouldn't, because I don't know where we go. So when I say I don't actually have the answer,
Like, try and find something. Like, just keep going till you get it right. Like, it's not. This
I
isn't
don't know
working.
I don't know how many more
There's
managers.
no light at the
Enoch-
end of the
Just
tunnel.
gotta keep going,
I
just-
don't know how many more managers Enoch can hire and fire until you realise the problem comes from the mentality. Look at what Hugo Lloris said the other day, right? Okay,
Conte said it.
Yeah, and he was
he's
right.
top of the league right
The
now.
problem was with Conte, he
it's
had
the
to
institution.
go because
Yeah.
it was too toxic.
Spurs, the
Everything
whole-
he said was bang on.
Yeah.
He wasn't wrong in anything he said, but it was too toxic and he had to go. The
of the league, no?
institution of Tottenham is the problem.
The actual
institution.
nuclear, everything.
The
that
nucleus.
Spurs-
When you're
everything that they
Yeah.
are.
everything that they are, and that comes from the top down. And when you are buying watches, right, and giving them to celebrate the fact that they reached a Champions League final, great, you can buy them a watch and say well done for doing that, but you've inscribed finalist on it. That just shows everything, the mentality. And there's a party straight
They do that,
after.
did they?
Yeah, there's a party straight
Against
after
us, so they knew they
after
would
that to
lose.
celebrate. Oh well, at least they got to the final. Look at that's exactly what
Mentality,
Tottenham
yeah.
Gotta
are.
watch, though.
That's exactly what Tottenham are. It is
Rolling.
inherent
Thank you.
losers, and it's because it comes from the top down. And
Rolex
until
too.
Enoch, until Daniel Levy is out that club, we're going to have the same cycle. We're going to sit here every 18 months, have the same breakdown. Run it back 18 months ago and watch it the last video I posted, and on this, and it'll be
have
the exact
asked-
same thing.
We have asked Abby. You're
But
glad to
don't
know.
think we should sack him.
We've done a poll, and Abby,
Yeah.
I think you'd agree with this. We've asked the people, and there's 3,000 of them that have voted in their
Stunning.
numbers. What's your favourite mode of transport? We've got tractor car.
Nah,
or
the way she
JCB.
just put out a proper speech, and that's the question you're asking her
Yeah.
next.
It's in the poll, mate.
You lot
It's
are
in the
mad.
poll. It's in the
I have
poll.
to go through the poll. It's-
I'm not even. Do you know what? I'm not even rattled today. I'm actually not.
You're not actually.
I'm
don't
not
see-
rattled.
you don't see it.
You're
I'm
actually
not.
really calm,
You don't
really
see
measured.
them.
Concise.
Yeah.
She gave
I'm
great points.
I'm
Very
not,
clear.
but
Now,
I'm
Football
not.
analysis,
Mode of
as you
transport.
say.
Analysis. You wanted the analysis. I've given you the analysis.
Yeah.
I'm not rattled because I know what my club are, and that's why if we go and beat whoever we got, City.
You got Man City next, you'll win
City
that.
will probably win that,
Yeah.
and that'll be Spurs
That'll
again.
be so
Where
And
was
then
that
whoever we
game?
got at City
You won't win that.
They did last year.
did it for years.
They drew, didn't they?
In this, the way the City
3-3
are playing now,
last
bro,
year.
I can see
Yeah.
it.
Last year, yeah,
It's
3.
the Abbi derby.
When you didn't have no
Yeah.
players.
Who are you
Yeah.
going to support?
You're not rattled.
Neither at this point.
Last
You
week.
had Emerson Royale.
Listen,
at centre-back that
yeah.
game, didn't
And
you?
Ben
We
Davies.
played all right.
Real's playing
really
Champions
well.
League football now. He's loving life.
I just think the frustration is that just I don't think that I don't know what you could possibly do.
Play against
We've
me,
tried
You
everything.
just got to keep trying, Abby. You're not rattled. so just-
I'm not rattled.
Don't give up.
But do you know
Just
what?
don't give up.
I was
Just keep
I was
going.
listening to the radio this morning, and
get there in the end.
there is an argument that Spurs, because we're so inconsistent, on their day they're actually quite
Scored
good.
the most goals out of anyone
Yeah.
in the league.
Brilliant. That's what I mean.
On,
Free
on,
flowing
on their
attacking
day,
football, mate.
they're
It's
actually
exciting.
very good. But I don't see enough progression. But there's an argument. Someone said maybe you'll be a cup team. Well, maybe we will. Who knows? Because if you get us on a good day, then we're fine. So hopefully,
That
if
hasn't
we
worked
do,
for
hopefully when we play you, we're having a good day.
Yeah, maybe.
Man said just keep swimming like Dory.
That's what we do. We just keep.
Don't know where
swimming.
you're going, can't
Trust
remember
me.
shit. Just
It's-
keep swimming, bro.
Well, I think so.
way.
The answer then to the Ange thing was you don't really know. It wasn't.
My
yes, it
answer
wasn't
is
no.
if he got sacked, would I be upset? No. Would
Thanks
I
for
be
getting
surprised? No. But if he stayed, will I also be upset? No. I'll feel the exact same
Fans
way.
are getting on him. You see that
Because-
fan? You see that fan that was like having a go at him when he was coming off? He stopped. He was really angry.
Well,
You
again,
see-
apparently the boos were really bad yesterday.
Yeah.
Straight after,
Yeah.
and
Right, but
he wasn't happy about it. He did his post-match press conference again, looking at the floor.
Spiky.
Which I get.
Spiky in
Yeah,
that
but
press
I don't-
conference.
I get about
Remember when
being
everybody
spiky.
said, "Oh,
I
he's
do
just-
get
it's
about
a
being
breath of
spiky.
fresh air."
No.
He does a wonderful press
No,
conference.
but
Now look at
I
him.
understand being spiky after a loss, and especially in that manner. I do understand that, but I do think you
yeah.
could just make eye contact.
Every week,
just
though.
make eye contact.
But he never. He
rude to
just
the
looks on the
reporter,
floor like
No,
that.
he shouldn't be rude to the reporter.
That's
He
what
shouldn't
I'm saying,
be.
it's
But
a
I
bit
do
rude
understand being
not looking
upset.
at
He's not going to come out and be buzzing the fact that they've just held
Robbie
that
doesn't
loss
do his fan
Ipswich.
cams looking at the floor next to Cecil,
Yeah.
does he? Like,
With the greatest respect, he's not managing a Premier League club.
But I've got to hold
managing a
it.
Premier League
Yeah, I mean, you got to
franchise.
hold it. You ain't got your head down like that, have you?
Yeah.
You're
I agree,
addressing.
I don't think he should
You're
be.
addressing the thousands and the millions that will watch this, and you're addressing them direct. Why has he got to have his head down? He's getting
looking at
sacked.
down there?
I think he could be gone by Christmas.